What can I say? It's been a while, and I'm feeling motivated to talk to you today, right now. And it's not out of my own doing, but because someone messaged me, which indicates to me more than two people are listening to this. But of course, that's always been my whole soul, heart, and focus on doing this podcast. And this time, I'm hoping to do things a little bit differently. I have goals set out, but I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. Right now, I'm checking in. Let's talk post concussive syndrome, TBI, what recovery is like, for you not to give up. And I would like to share with you some ideas that I have. Let's get started. So I'm doing this off on a whim. I have no notes in front of me. I have uh no script, nothing. Because I like to be me. And so let's see if I can get this all right here. I broadcast live on Facebook, I broadcast live on YouTube, and I take the audio from this podcast and I deliver it to anchor.fm. And I would like to thank Spotify for making anchor.fm available to making this possible. Without anchor.fm, I think it would be a little bit more complex. It makes it simple. So if you ever want to do podcasting, go ahead, check that out. They're not an official sponsor. No one is paying me to do jack squat. And, but I want to come in and talk to you here. So in the intro, I said I was motivated. The reason why is that I did get a message last night from a gentleman who was listening to my podcast. And I did not ask him for permission to share his story. I did not ask him for permission on anything here. So I'm not going to tell you what he told me so far. I'm trying to get some more details out from him, but I can tell you this, his story and my story are almost similar as far as symptoms go so far from what I'm seeing here. But the cause of getting post-concussive syndrome or minor TBI or traumatic brain injury is two different things. Or the symptoms are the same things, but the cause of it is two different things. I think I did say that right. Yeah, little cuckoo there. Let's get some things going here in my head appropriately. But he motivated me because it's been a while. I will confess to you, the last podcast I did, I only had it up on YouTube. I never put it on anchor.fm. The main reason why I did not do that is because there's a program that I had purchased over a year ago. I ran an update on that same day that I did a broadcast, and the developer decided to throw in an audio clip in here saying somehow that this is an unlicensed program. I can't remember the exact words. When I went back to go listen, it was very frustrating. And so I never put that on anchor.fm because I did have the license for that there. I did try to reach out to the developer there, but no progress was made. This time I made sure that I did several tests here before I came live. I just want to let you know on that. That right there was a little bit of discouragement. Since then, I had also came across a second back injury, which doesn't make me motivated to really do these things here very much. But this one did. It is knowing that people is listening. It is knowing people like you are listening. And this person that messaged me last night, it clicked on me. I got excited. I'm probably overly excited in chat, but in the chat with him. He found me on Facebook, but got me got me thinking that these things are for a purpose. And I need to let you guys know my continual progress because I see the analytics to my podcasts. YouTube is small numbers, but on the audio podcasts, I'm getting not probably a decent amount. I'm probably getting a good 20, 50 people. That's decent. Not money making stuff, but enough to have an impact on some people, and they're continually following me. I'm watching this thing here. So it's only fair that I come and give you guys a report. And especially since this person did his due diligence to look me up and find me on Facebook, I figure I would have an appropriate response. So here's me checking in. And if you're suffering from post-concussive syndrome or traumatic brain injury, here's the main question that a lot of people have when they're going through the symptoms, especially when they have symptoms for years. Does it get better? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, it does. But in order for that to get better, you need to take some steps in your own life, in your own personal life. I had discovered, like many of you have discovered, the medical community is incompetent when it comes to this for the most part. There are specialists out there that knows exactly what you're going on. You just have to hunt for them. There is also specialists that know how to treat you appropriately and not give you drugs for it. So, what where do you go from here? What do you do? There's a rule that I had, well, not a rule, but there is something that I had discovered for myself. I've always been a faith believing man, but I even came to great anger and great frustrations myself. And even wanted to just throw God out of my life and throw church out of my life. But this injury that I gotten had brought me closer to him than ever before because I had found that my suffering, I had found that my symptoms was overwhelmingly negative. And I didn't know who else to turn to. No one else understood my pain. No one else understood my suffering. No one else understood what was going on. And so I did turn to God. If you're looking for relief, make that your first step, whether if you believe in him or not. If you don't believe in him, try to believe in him. Say a prayer if you've never said one before. Ask him if he's real. That's the only way that I was able to find answers, real answers, was through him. Second one, change your diet now. Food causes inflammation. Soda causes inflammation. Sugar causes inflammation there. You need to figure out what food is working appropriately for you. Look into supplements. Look into appropriate diets and foods. Even cut out gluten if you have to. When it comes to a head injury, this thing is real and you need to take it serious. Next one, look for a specialist who can help you overcome these symptoms. It is possible to overcome them, and it is possible to overcome them fast. Some people can have it done in a week or less, like me, or some people can have it done in a couple of weeks or in a month. Now, my symptoms was not completely gone in a week, but for the most part, a lot of things was fixed after I went to see a specialist. Now, how do you find a specialist? Keyword, Dynavision. Look up Dynavision. If you find a physical therapy place close to you and they have Dynavision, that is the place for you to go to. That place will even exercise. That Dynavision machine will help exercise your brain and help get you on an appropriate path. It may look like something simple and something stupid, but that something stupid works. Dynavision, it is spelled Dynavision. Remember that. So if you want to go ahead and receive treatment, there you go. Now, here's another reason why I have not been coming on very much now that I got that part out of the way. Yes, you do get better. I need someone to talk to. I like talking to people. And doing this thing alone is difficult. I don't do broadcasting for a living. I mean, doing this now is definitely different from my living in happenstance. Um, I, I'm doing this because I want to share information. I'm doing this in hoping to help improve people's lives because I've been in the pursuit for many years, just like many of you. And I'm happy to share some of my stories with you and even go beyond post concussive syndrome. And one day I will. But you know what? I would like to dive deeper, but it for me, it takes another person to be involved, whether if I'm interviewing them or whether if they're interviewing me. So I've been trying to scheme. I've even been talking to my wife. I'm like, hey, you think so and so will join in on me with this? Um, Thinking of some friends out here in the area. Maybe I can get them to sit down with me. But as much as they chat, I don't know how much they would like to come and sit down with us. I haven't talked to anyone yet. Or I can start reaching out to people and asking them to join me to be special guests. I've seen other people do it, so it's why don't I do that? So that's a mission that I'm on. I've never given up on this podcast. I may take longer than what I plan to do to deliver these things, but I'm constantly trying to figure out what can I do to make it better? What can I do to help talk to you guys? And I would like to have another person on with me, whether if they're rotating people or whether if not, or whether we have like a permanent co-host. So, but that's a dream, that's a wish, and right now for that step, it will take me asking to make that possible. I'm hoping by you guys seeing me too right now is that you're seeing how I'm acting and how I'm presenting myself. I am well. You can't see the change. I can see the change when I've been coming here or when I have been broadcasting, when I have been doing this podcast for you guys, I have been sitting down. I've been sitting at this plug-in stand-up desk for the past 2 years, or I haven't. I've had this desk for nearly 3 years now, and I haven't had it plugged in for 2 years. I've been sitting at it. Today, I decided to change that and plug that in, and decided to stand up. So you really can't see that right now, but here I am presenting myself. I'm standing up and take a step back and make that proof there. You guys, I don't know what else to say at this point. There is a lot going on. You know, maybe I will go ahead and address some things as to what's going on in the world because I, I I know people are getting tired of politics, and it's not my place to go ahead and do that. If you're to talk to my wife, she'll tell you it is my football. I'm not a football fan, but when it comes to politics, I can really get at it. But I will tell you what, just like many of you, I'm concerned about what's happening in the world. I'm concerned about what's happening in the state of the United States, what's happening in Canada, what's happening in Ukraine. Um, I even have family out in Russia, and I'm concerned for them, and I don't know how they're doing. So after I'm done with this, I'm going to be reaching out to check in on them. But even though we have craziness going on in the world right now, please turn to God. Let Him give you hope. Let Him give you light. It's all that we have. We can complain as much as we want to, and that's not going to solve anything. I want to be a person of solutions, not a person of problems. I have spent many years presenting problems of my own life without solutions, and I've gotten tired of it. Aren't you tired of that too? Let's let's be better. We can. We don't have to be jerks. But I appreciate you guys. The gentleman that reached out to me, if you're listening to this, and I bet you are, just from chatting with you so far, thank you. Thank you for reaching out. It gives me gives me hope. It lights a new flame in me, and I'll do better. I'll try to be better, and especially in coming to talk to you guys some more. You're actual human beings sitting at your homes behind a TV, behind a computer, watching this or listening to this on your phones. Or and here I am. I'm staring at three screens in the camera, not seeing anyone else. But I've already had a conversation with you. If you do like this podcast and you want to support it, the best way that you can support is to like, share this podcast, follow me. That's the best way that you can do it. Let's grow this thing out. And whatever I come to talk to you about, it is about self-improvement, making you a better person. It's not just about this brain injury stuff, but I appreciate that audience and knowing that I have an audience there with that. There's so much more to life. And I hope that you can be on a much brighter path as a result of that, just as I have been. We're all in this challenging times together. We can make this world a better place. And I was about ready to say something about our dumb leaders, but I'll just leave it at that. So thank you guys. Take care. And don't be afraid to reach out. Email me, David at inthepursuit.com. If you have a story that you would like to share and even like to talk about or want to sit down with me, reach out to me. If you have a story to share, I'll be happy to talk to you. We'll share it together with the world. And so we'll leave it at that. Thank you. Take care.